Good afternoon, Mayhem Fitness, and welcome to our next cooking video. We're going to do something pretty cool today. We're going to do some sous vide cooking. And if you're not familiar with sous vide, it is basically an immersion cooker that lets you cook your food at a slow temperature. That's going to give you the perfect doneness. It's going to allow us to cook an amazing steak today. So what I decided to do is we're going to do a couple of steaks tonight. My wife likes a filet. I like to do I like a strip or a ribeye, but now I've been doing sirloin because it tends to be a little bit lower points, a little bit healthier. So I have about a 9-ounce sirloin steak that for me will be around 7 points. My wife has a 5-ounce filet that for her will be about 6 points. So we can give you a really good, delicious steak dinner without taking up a ton of points. But I'm going to show you a cool new way to cook if you haven't done this before. So if you're not super familiar with sous vide, essentially what you're going to use an immersion cooker, a large pot of water, and you just need a couple of sealed Ziploc bags. You can do a vacuum sealer, and that is the ideal setup. We don't cook enough on the sous vide to really justify the investment for us so far yet in doing the vacuum sealer. But if you can get some Ziploc bags, they're typically rated to 180 degrees. And we're going to cook our steaks at 135 degrees. So all I've done now is I filled this pot up with water. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to go through and set my immersion cooker up here. So we're just going to put it on here. We're going to plug it in, and then I'll get the steak set up for you. So what I want to do is I want to get this set up, and I want to get my temperature to 135. Now I'll give you a nice trick on here that I've learned. If you actually go in and put the water as hot as you can get this to temp fairly quickly and get it set up. These steaks are going to take about 2 hours to cook. We're going to cook them at about 2.5 hours at 135. Should get us into a nice medium. Once we're there, we're going to take them off and we're going to finish them on the grill. The key to a good sous vide steak is you need to do that reverse sear afterwards. You can either do it on the charcoal grill like I'm going to do, or in a cast iron pan to give you that nice crust afterwards. So I'm going to come back and show you. I'm going to get the sous vide set up. You can see I'm at 130.8 right now. So I don't have a ton to get to 135, so I'm going to take the steaks out, season them, bag them up, show you how we do that, and then we'll come back and we'll show you in a little bit how we finish them off on the grill. Again, low points, delicious meal, something a little bit different than what you've had before. So if you like steak, you don't have to go to the restaurant, save a little bit of money, you'll have a steak better than you ever did at a steakhouse. So we'll come back and show you in just a second. All right, Mayhem Fitness, we are good to go. We're going to show you the setup here. If you can see, we have our steaks. We have our delicious sirloin here. We have our filet. All we're going to do is we're going to season them really simply with 3 things. We're going to use coarse sea salt, which you can see here. We're going to use coarse black pepper right here. And we're going to use garlic powder. Once we do that, we're going to take them and put them in these plastic bags. We're going to seal them up. I'll show you how to do this. What you want to do is you actually want to seal the bag about 3/4 of the way, and then you want to leave the air in. The water will actually push the air out, so you get a nice seal, and you want to leave them in the bag. So really, really simple. Again, we'll show you how we get it all set up, and we'll get it into the sous vide. So you want to salt these generously, right? Again, when you're thinking about seasoning meat, I think a lot of people under-season, especially salt. People get nervous. Again, you want to use probably about twice as much as you think you do. Only because you're going to lose a lot of it during the cooking process. These steaks are pretty thick. They're going to take at least 2 hours to cook in the sous vide, and then, like I said, we're going to finish them on the grill. And once we do that, once we get our salt in here, again, really straightforward. We just want to go in and add black pepper. So a nice amount of black pepper in here. Again, the meat, this is really good meat. We want to let the meat be the star. And then we're going to add our garlic powder. So we want to add just some garlic powder on here. Again, letting the meat flavor dominate. So we'll flip this back over again. We'll use our pepper. And we'll use our garlic powder. And we'll get this really nice flavor. And then again, like I said, they just go right in the bag. Again, you want to seal that bag about 3/4 of the way. Get this out of the way here. And then once you do, they go right in the sous vide. So we'll put this in here. I'll do the filet off camera so you can see it. It just literally goes right in the bag here. You want to get it flat inside there, best you can, and then you want to close it 3/4 of the way. Once you do that, then what you want to do is you want to come over, you're going to take this, we're going to come over to our sous vide here. So what you can see is we're going to put the steak in the bag, and now what's going to happen is this is going to push the air out, right? So again, all that air, we want to have as little air as possible in that bag as we actually get ready to go in and seal it. So we want to go and push that in there. Again, right nice. We want to continue to push the air out till there's almost none left. Now, here's my clip, my recommendation I like to do. You don't want to ever have this fall in. So what I actually do is I take a chip clip, just like that, and I clip it to the side of the pot, and that's going to hold it there. You want to have the water up as high as you can. Again, you'll see we went down in temperature just a little bit as we added that in. So we went down to 134.6, and that'll come back up again. We've added something cooler in there. That'll come up fairly quickly. But this will go down for the next 2 hours, and then once we get done with that, I'll pull it out and show you what that looks like and how we finish that steak up. Again, nice steak here. Like I said, about 9 ounces, should be about 6 or 7 points with the sirloin. The filet from my wife, around 5 ounces, should be about 6 points. So low point, nice steak dinner. We're gonna add some really simple stuff into it. A baked potato for 2 or 3 points. We'll add a vegetable for 0 points. So a delicious steakhouse type dinner for 10 points. Awesome Saturday night. Thanks. All right, so now we've had our steaks cooking in the sous vide for like the last 2 hours. They are ready to go. You can see they're in the bag. A lot of juice comes out in here. It's a good indication. With this much juice, it should give me a good indication that I'm at a solid medium rare to medium, which is where I wanted to get to. You can see on the grill here, we have the grill grate on right over the coals. Cast iron, we want this screaming hot, so we put it on here. So really easy. Now you just take your steak out of the bag here. We'll use our tongs. We just want to pat it dry, right? So when we put it onto the grill, we get those great grill marks. This will be fast. This whole thing should take, maybe once it goes on the grill, it shouldn't take any more than 3 to 5 minutes to get this whole char that I want, if even that long. Because you're gonna hear when it goes on here, that sizzle right away. That's exactly what we want. We want to get it super, super hot. So I'll get this next steak on here, and then we'll come back and show you in just 3 to 5 minutes. We'll show you what it looks like. We gotta let it rest for a couple minutes too, so we'll show you that as well. You know, what we like to let it rest for about 5 minutes, so we'll show you the juices in there. But again, screaming hot. Want it over the hot grates. I'm gonna close it up because I want as much heat as possible. We'll be back in about 10 minutes to show you the final product. We'll cut into it here, show you what it looks like. Thanks for checking it out. All right, so our steaks are now out. They've been resting for a couple of minutes. You can see we have a really awesome char on here. Before I cut into there, like I always say, you know, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to the channel, give us a like, hit the notifications. We're making new videos all the time. I'll be uploading a cycling video in the next couple of days. We have our next delicious and suspicious video coming up this week, so it should be a lot of fun. But again, thanks for checking us out. We're gonna cut into the steaks. Like I said, my wife's steak, the filet, this size should be about 5 or 6 points for her. For me with the sirloin, the prime sirloin, thick cut, this should be about, you know, 8 or 9 points for me. So let's cut into it, take a look and see how it is. So with the sous vide, you can see we have a nice medium on here. Really, you got a little bit of pink in the middle. Super juicy. You don't lose, you can see here as we cut into it, we don't lose any of that juice in there, nothing kind of, so again, really, really juicy steak. A little bit of the pink in the middle that we want. So we're gonna try it out and just see what the flavor is. And if you haven't cooked sous vide before, the one thing is it stays really juicy no matter how you cook it. So this will be really nice. The reason I go with a steak like this, my wife loves the filet, not quite as much flavor. This has amazing flavor. You get the flavor from the garlic powder, the salt, the pepper, the natural meat flavor. It's juicy, it's delicious. So again, thank you for checking out Mayhem Fitness. Really delicious steak. Again, not a ton of points. Have fun with your grill, use your immersion cooker, have a great meal. We'll talk to you soon on Mayhem Fitness. Thank you.